No force in the human system can be properly used unless it is rightly directed. As the will is the only factor in man that has the power to direct or control, a thorough development of the will becomes absolutely necessary in order to have a clear understanding of its application under every circumstance. In Buddhism, willpower is truly the ability to initiate and carry out actions. It is, therefore, not an ability to determine the quality of the action, which may be moral or immoral. Volition, initial application, and attention are much alike. In initial application, there is application of the mind on the object. In volition, there is an engagement of the mind with the object, like a general that directs soldiers in their special tasks. Attention is like the mind being tied to the object, like a charioteer that is mindful of the horses he has tied to the chariot. The principal functions of the mind are the will to initiate, the will to direct, the will to control, the will to think, the will to imagine, the will to act, the will to originate ideas, the will to will any action or purpose, the will to carry through that purpose, and so on. We understand, therefore, the great importance of having a strong will. A powerful will is never domineering or coercing. A domineering will is weak. A strong will is deep, continuous, and persistent. It calls into action your entire individuality, and as you exercise such a will, you feel as if a tremendous power from within yourself has been calmly, though persistently, aroused. A great many people have good intentions, and they have sufficient willpower to originate those intentions, but they don't have sufficient willpower to implement them. They have the will to think, but not the will to act. Thousands of people begin with right intention, but they do not possess the power of will to continue. We find this condition in all walks of life and in all undertakings, and it illustrates most eloquently the necessity of a strong will in every mind. But here we may ask, what are we living for? Are we living to detach ourselves from the influence of environment, visible or invisible? Or are we living to attain such full control over the powers and talents that are within us that we cannot only control, modify, and perfect our environment, but also so perfectly control ourselves that we can become all that nature intends we should become? If we are to rise in the scale, we must attain greater degrees of self-mastery. We cannot learn to master ourselves as long as we constantly permit ourselves to be mastered by something else, whereby we lose ground every day. Our characters become weaker, our standards of morality and rightness become more and more lax, and our power to apply those faculties and forces in our natures through which we may accomplish more and achieve more, constantly decrease, both in working capacity and in efficiency.